Got the hottest stories you've ever seen, from Hollywood nights to the latest tea. If it's breaking news, it's breaking with me. The next big story's coming soon that will have the internet talking. From fashion to drama, we bring the truth. Fresh updates every day for you. Everybody's tuning, everybody wants to know who's making headlines. Come on, let's go. Locked on Celeb News, we lead away. Tune in with Diane Cal. Everybody's tuned in, everybody wants to know who's making headlines. Come on, let's go. Locked on Celeb News, we lead away. Tune in with Diane Cal.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Locked On Celebrity News with Nye, and I have my co-host Cal here, where we talk about hot celebrity news and trending news stories. We listen, we look at what's being said, and y'all, we report it and ask questions. If you're new here, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Now let's jump into it. The parents of Nolan Wells and their attorneys and Al Sharpton spoke out to give updates on the case. Let's take a listen at what they said.
Parents, lovely parents, I've gotten to know them, that really don't have an answer to a question. Is it a civil rights violation or not? And we do not know. How do you trust the words of people that say immediately there was no foul play when you haven't even investigated whether it was foul play? How do you trust people that come back from something that happened and never really give you a straight story of what happened, including you have the keys to the car? So when you have more questions than answers, you have to have people that will drive the answers out, and that's what we do. And that's why I've been involved, and that's why we stay involved. And it gets worse and worse and worse. The parent of one of the boys threatening to sue us for asking a question. Imagine that now. Some of y'all call us, what do you feel about the parents? One of the boys says he's going to sue you and Ben Crump. Sue us for what? For saying what happened? So we've gone back that far. And that is why we're going to stand with these people.
It's a really
All right, guys. Fam, hold on. Did y'all hear what he just said? Man, these parents still don't have answers. I just don't understand. And baby, that's where I'm at. Can somebody please answer a basic question this family has been asking? What happened to their son? That's all they want to know. Because I'm sitting here listening and I'm like, okay, everybody got a microphone. So everybody want to go on podcasts. Everybody getting attorneys. Everybody giving interviews. Everybody got something to say. But where's the parents' answers? I just don't get it. Where's the evidence? That's what I care about. Now, fam, he asks how you can immediately say that there was no foul play if there hasn't been a complete investigation into whether foul play occurred. That deserves clarification. Like, they need to come out and say something. Hear me clearly. I'm asking, what evidence allowed investigators to reach whatever preliminary conclusion they reached? Because if you investigated and the evidence says there was no foul play, okay, we can accept that. Explain that to this family. Show them how you got there, how you found that information. Show them what happened. But don't expect a mama and a daddy to hear nothing suspicious happen and just pack their bags and go home when they still don't understand how their child died. Y'all, that ain't how grief works. And it definitely ain't how accountability should work. Just don't get it. Cal, what you think? What's your take?
I agree. I agree with you.
Like, it's to the point like I want to do lives, like I want to come on here and I want to talk about this situation, but sometimes it just make you angry. Cuz I have sons. And I just can't imagine. I'm talking about I cannot even imagine what they are going through.
Right. I agree. That is true. You are
It,
right about that.
it would be hard for me to even go into public. Like I would be like, I don't know, they would be like, oh, what's wrong with that lady? Because that lady look like she needs to be in the bed. I don't know. I just can't.
She
And so
did
like,
look tired.
right. And like El Sharpton said, they came out and said there was no foul play before they even did. They came out and said there was no foul play before they even said we're going to do an investigation on what happened.
Right. How can they say that? How
And
can
that's
they say there's no foul play if there's no investigation?
exactly, you got to investigate to see if foul play was involved.
So
It
they
weighs
saying
on
that
you.
if they saying they know what happened, where is all the evidence?
Exactly. Yeah, what the attorney said in an interview, he know what happened. And they're going to present it in court. And I do understand that they can't come out and say everything because a lot of the stuff is under an investigation, but they still not debunking some of the things that people are saying. People putting pictures out saying they seen Nolan. I mean, it's just all types of stuff that people putting out, and they not even coming out saying what is true and what's not true. It's like they don't even care what you think.
What they putting out?
All types of pictures where they claim they seen him on the island. They claim it was him in the photo after 5 o'clock. Stuff like that. Like they saying, oh, we had a sighting of Nolan. And so like everybody asking, like, was that really Nolan? Like, prove to us that was Nolan.
If no one was new to the neighborhood, they would do that. If we new to the neighborhood, everybody gonna stick together.
Well,
If
what
you
that
come
got
to
to
my
be? What
town,
that got to be? What do that have to do with being new to a neighborhood? That have nothing to do with them doing what they're doing.
yeah, it has a lot to do with it. That's like me and my friend grew up together. You know, and I knew somebody new come along, and something happened to him. Me and my friends gonna stick together because we've been friends.
But he was not new. He was with them all the time.
New
He didn't
meaning,
just go with them that one time. They was always on Horn Island. He was always
yeah,
with
but
them.
new don't mean that we're not friends. New mean that I knew two of my best friends since I was 5, 6 years old. So for them two right there, if something go down, I'm gonna keep it under wraps. Now I got other friends that I just met at 48 years old. That don't mean they're gonna get the same respect that the one that was my friend at 5 years old did.
I
That
understand.
don't
What you
mean I'm gonna look
basically
at them the
saying,
same.
so basically what you're trying to say is that he was a tag along.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's your friend, but they ain't your, they ain't your friend. That's your associate. Like I always tell people. Most of the people that we meet are only associates anyway. They're not really friends. Because when you go along in life, you'll never talk to them again. But you thought that was your friend at that time. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And you probably was friends with them for a long time. But that don't mean that was your friend. That mean that was an associate. Yeah, they could be friends with you, but they're more of associates than friends.
Right.
People get it mixed up. And the Bible says those that find a friend find a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So if you thinking everybody your friend and they ain't laughing, then you don't know what a friend is. And that's what most people don't know what friends are. They assume a friend is this and that's a friend and all that, but that don't necessarily mean that. It don't really mean that that's gonna be your friend. That just means that's an associate. You have a lot of associates you done met along the way in life. But that don't make y'all friends. That just make you associate. You went to school with people. You can say somebody was your friend in high school. You know what I'm saying? But are y'all still friends today? No, that was your associate. That wasn't really your friend. But I guess you could say that's your friend at that time. But I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna put my 2 cents in and say it like that.
Well, like I said, it's more they leaving us with more questions than answers. That's what we've been saying, and somehow asking questions has turned into people think you're accusing them. No, nobody's accusing you. If something has a reasonable explanation, answer the question. If there's evidence, show the evidence through the proper process. If something people online are saying is completely wrong, correct it with facts.
Right. Correct it with facts.
Yes, because you know what shuts down speculation better than anything. Receipts, documents, verified timelines, forensic evidence, and facts. You ain't got to argue with nobody when you got receipts. Put the receipts on the table.
Right. I agree.
Now let's play some more of the video.
Really sad occasion that we're here again. I was just saying to my staff on the way in, it's like this brings back so many vivid memories for me and my own family, having lost Jordan to unnecessary gun violence in November 2012, Black Friday, simply because he was black and playing loud music in his car. And so here we are again today, here for the loss of another black young man in our community. And we find ourselves asking the same questions. How did it happen? Why did it happen? And this family stands here demanding answers. This family deserves answers. I myself sought the same justice for my son Jordan that they're seeking for theirs, and they deserve answers, and they deserve justice. Amen. Justice that should not be denied this family, or should ever be denied to any of our children or our lost loved ones. As a member of the Congressional Black Caucus, I'm the second vice chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. We are demanding a full federal investigation. Kash Patel, we're demanding a full federal investigation as to what has actually happened to Nolan Wells. We want to make sure that every stone is unturned because his life matters. All of our children's and our families' lives matter. And we must fight back. We must stand up and we must demand accountability for this family's loss. We cannot turn a blind eye to what continues to happen again and again and again. That's the reason why I ran for Congress, to make sure that we continue to put a face on what's happening to our families and our communities every single day. We must say Nolan's name. Amen. Say his name. Lift his name. And as the national Black journalist of this country, you have the ability to be able to lift this story and not let it die. We see over and over again these kinds of tragedies in our communities that continue to happen. And they make it to CNN. They make it to MSN Now. They make it to our local news for maybe 30 days, if that. And then the stories are gone. And the carnage is left with the families and the communities that have lost someone that they love. So I thank the National Black Journalists. Thank you for lifting this family story. Do not let it die. Continue to say his name. Continue to tell his story, because they deserve justice, and it matters. It mattered for me. It mattered for Trayvon. It mattered for Eric Brown. It matters for all of our loved ones that we have lost.
All right, so that was comments from Congresswoman Lucy McBeth. And this right here is where I'm at with the situation. The Congresswoman Lucy said the Justice Department should not be denied. Said justice should not be denied to this family, or should never be denied to any of our children or loved ones. As a member of the Congressional Black Caucus, I'm the second vice chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, and they are demanding a full investigation. A full investigation. Right? So let that sink in. The thing about it is, with having the federal government investigate it, I don't know if they're going to get justice. Because of the administration that we have.
Right.
It's like, to me,
the administration don't have nothing to do with it. It's just those people, period.
Right, but the people in the administration is like as if the people in Mississippi that's investigating it. They all together.
Right.
They all together. They have the same mindset. They all think alike. They just all just the same. They're the same. As much racism that we go through with that administration, with taking DEI and all of that kind of stuff. I don't want to go into politics with this, but I'm just saying they all the same. They're not no different. So for them to turn it over to the federal government, like I say, hopefully Congress can hold them accountable because she did say there is an oversight committee that I guess they oversee, the actual federal government. I guess they have insight on things that they do or injustices that they commit. So that would be the only way I could see them finding justice. But to think the administration and the people over the federal government is going to give justice, I can't see it. I understand them wanting to do that because that's protocol. If they do see where the state is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, I get it. You're supposed to turn it over to the federal government. If you see where they're violating, certain aspects of the case and not doing certain things and all of that, I understand that they would turn it over to the federal government to try to find justice. But I don't know. That's just me. That's my opinion. You can go, Cal. You can say what you think. I just can't see it.
I agree. They're not going to do it right.
I think the family would literally be more heartbroken than they are now, thinking that the federal government going to do something.
You think so?
I do.
Why do you think that?
Because I just don't think they're going to do nothing. I feel like they are all the same. The state and them, they all working together. First of all, the attorney them boys hired, that was one of Trump attorneys. So you don't think all of them connected? They connected to Trump.
Yeah. Excuse me. I think they're connected.
Right. But one thing I do want to say, with what the Congresswoman Lucy said, it stuck out to me. She said, we want to make sure that every stone is unturned because his life matters. And his life does matter. All of our children and family lives matter. Black, white, yellow, or green. Every person's life matters. We must stand up and we must demand accountability for this family's loss. We cannot turn a blind eye to what continues to happen again and again and again. That's the reason why she ran for Congress, to make sure that we continue to put a face on what's happening to our families. And I love that what she had said.
Right.
Now let's listen to the last part. This is the last part of the video that I thought was important.
Thank you so much, Mentor. Reverend Al, thank you for helping not only lead the effort to get to the truth, but keeping this family in your prayers as you have done so many more families, giving them support. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Eric Hertz, Attorney Lisa Park, Attorney Ahmad Smith. We have the honor of representing the family of Nolan Wells. Obviously, you all have come to know his parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley. And this is hard. I heard Congresswoman Macbeth, who lost her son Jordan almost 12 years ago, and it's still raw and emotional when you hear her talk about the loss of a child. I mean, he's not coming back. And that is the story. Everything else is just, hyperbole, is distractions. The story is what happened to Nolan Wells. Somebody knows something. Somebody saw something. I'm thankful to Reverend Al Sharpton and Mr. Tyler Perry and Terrell Owens and Byron Allen putting up these rewards. I understand others have now put up rewards, and that's good because that means we all have the same objective. We want the truth about what happened to Nolan Wells, and it is urgent. It is urgent because each day that goes by, you worry, will we ever get to the truth? And so that's why we want to thank CBC for calling on the federal authorities and anybody else who has resources to help this family get to the truth of what happened to their son. I know I was talking to Christian Clark, and she said, no, let's make sure that all taxpayers' money that goes to support federal resources apply to our children too. I mean, let's say that nobody should say, oh, it doesn't matter that much because it's a black child. No, it matters. All of our children matter. And so we are going to continue every day to say his name, Attorney Hertz, Attorney Park, Attorney Smith, trying to work with the local district attorney to give them what they need to do a thorough, fair, full, impartial investigation. That's what we're asking for. Everything else is just a distraction because Nolan's birthday is next Wednesday, August 19th. It is going to be extremely difficult for his mother, his father, and his family, because this August 19th will be like no other that they've ever had for the last 19 years. I mean, it's a milestone when your child gets to be 18 years old. You try to breathe a little easier, Reverend. Now you say, man, we almost got them there. They at the cusp of being an adult, cusp of manhood. And you heard how Elmore was working so hard, him and Nolan, his football career. I mean, he had a good start, but this was really going to be his year. I mean, so much hope, so much promise. And then July 4th came, and 4th of July will never be the same to Christine and Elmore. And on the 19th, next Wednesday, his family, we're all asking for prayer for Nolan. I know there's going to be a prayer visual in Ocean Springs. I know Reverend Al is going to work to make sure we're all praying all across the nation. But y'all, let's pray. Can we pray together in unity to say, let's get to the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells? Can we do that, America? Can we at least come together in unity on his birthday? Everybody who claimed to ever be a friend of his, can we come together in unity and pray for the truth and try to have love in our hearts for this family, for this broken-hearted mother and father, his sisters and brothers? Can we try to give them grace and give them love and pray for their humanity, for their son who was lost on 4th of July and is never coming back? Is that so much to ask? Let's have a National Day of Prayer on August 19th, next Wednesday, for Nolan Wells. And at this time, we'll hear from his mother and father, then Eric, and us will try to answer your questions.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for having us, for platforming our son's story. As many of you know, his 19th birthday is next Wednesday.
Think safety. Think Grainger. For trusted products to lock, anchor, contain, and protect. Grainger, call, click, or just
And it's, as the days gets closer, it's definitely getting harder. That realization is really sinking in. That we don't have our son physically here anymore. And I think a lot of people have forgotten. Only thing we want to know is what happened. That's all we want to know, is what happened to our son. Because many parents out there, you still have your children. You still can hug them. You still can call them. You still can celebrate their life with them. And we do not have that anymore. Our lives have forever changed. This new normal is something I would never wish on anyone, not even my worst enemy. The hurt that we feel daily, the conversations that we have to have, not just with each other, but also with our other children as they are grieving as well. So we ask that everyone, please, next Wednesday, join us in prayer. As for us as a family, but also for everyone out there, but especially for Nolan and the process that we're going through. And again, we thank you so much.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who's constantly keeping our son's story in the forefront. You don't know how much we really appreciate that. Nolan brought light to our family. He was the fun in it. And with his birthday coming up, like my wife said, we have to deal with a new normal. Who knows what these years are going to bring, but we know that these years on August 19th is going to bring a lot of hurt, some laughter as we think about memories. But as far as our family, a very big piece will no longer be there. We just want the truth. We just want to know what any other parent would want to know. We're asking the questions any parent would ask. And if you feel that something's wrong with that, then that's a problem that you have to deal with. But as far as us and our family, we're just asking for truth, transparency, and to please keep us in your prayers. Next week is going to be a hard week, and the years follow are going to be hard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christian and Elmore. It never gets easy, Reverend Al. And they're asking, I know Reverend Jamal Bryant is coming to Ocean Springs. Anybody who can come to Ocean Springs to be at the prayer visual with them on a Wednesday evening at 7 p.m., please come. And if you can't come, please have prayer visuals in your city and your communities. We need to find out what happened.
That right there, that part. That part is the hard part. So, friends, this right here is the part that really hits different. Because when you strip away all the interviews, attorneys, social media arguments, and everybody choosing sides, these are two parents who don't have their son anymore. His birthday is coming up, and instead of planning a celebration, they're asking people to pray with them while they are trying to adjust to a life they've never asked for. And what really got me was when they said, you still have your children. You can still hug them. You can still call them. So true. That'll sit you down right there. And they're not asking the public to convict anybody. They have never asked to convict anybody. They have never accused anybody. Every single interview they did, they never said anything about anybody doing it. They've always just asked for information. Or they've said, we just want to know. Just like the mom said, we just want to know what happened. That's always what I've ever heard them say. They're just saying they want the truth. They want transparency. We want to know what happened to our son. That's what the dad says every time he speaks. I just want to know what happened to my son. And y'all, I don't think it's too much for a mom and dad to ask of that. Whatever the evidence ultimately shows, let it show it. Even if it was an accident, even if he drowned, we could accept that. But let the evidence show that. Let it truly show that. Not no altered evidence, not something that they made look like that's how he died. Let it be the truth, the honest truth from God. So with Nolan's 19th birthday coming up, I'm definitely keeping his family in my prayers. Because behind all of these headlines is a mom and a dad and siblings that have an empty seat where somebody they love is supposed to be. Never forget that part of this story. Because whatever disagreements are happening between adults, there is a mother in the middle of this who lost her child. Don't forget what position this woman is standing in. She's trying to understand how her son went away and never came back home. Can you imagine somebody telling you your child is gone? But stop asking questions. Stop asking all these questions. What? If it would be me, I would be asking questions Monday through Sunday. I'll be asking the same questions in 17 different ways, if that's what it takes. Because that's my child, if that was mine. So I'm going to give Nolan's parents some grace while they search for answers. They deserve answers. And fam, here's where I'm going to leave this. I'm not interested in clearing nobody through no interview. I'm not interested in, well, I am interested in. This is what I am interested in Nolan. What happened to him? What's the verified timeline? What supported the physical evidence? What happened on that CETO call? What happened after that? What was Nolan's last independently confirmed location? What do the medical and forensic findings establish? And what evidence exists that Nolan's parents haven't received answers about yet? Those are the questions. And if every answer ultimately shows that nobody did anything wrong, then let the evidence establish that. That's all we're asking. Nothing more, nothing less. We can accept it if it's the truth. But if evidence identifies wrongdoing by anybody, that accountability needs to follow that evidence too. That's what justice looks like. That's what it means. Justice is finding out what happened and following the evidence wherever it goes and whatever it looks like. And if y'all want to watch the full video of the parents' interview, y'all can find it on YouTube. So I really enjoyed y'all watching. Cal, do you have any final remarks? Because this one, I couldn't help it. I got emotional. It's just hard. It's hard to see parents go through that. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I have sons. At the end of the day, you have sons. At the end of the day, I couldn't even imagine what they're going through. It's one thing when you find out your child is dead and you know what happened to them, you can have closure. Because once you buried them, it's going to hurt. And it's going to hurt for a long time, but at least you know what happened so you can have closure. But when you don't know what happened, you can't really go on with your life because you're still searching for answers on how your child died. So it's like a never-ending story, a never-ending nightmare, I could imagine. I'm sorry, everyone, if I got emotional. Because they broke me down. Like every time I watched the mom on an interview, she cried, I cried. I've never been this emotionally attached to a story. Besides Carmelo Anthony. Turn that. Carmelo Anthony one hits the same way. So I think I've said enough. And if y'all have enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Turn on your notifications because if any other updates come out from the family or their attorneys, we will definitely bring it to you. You already know we're coming right back here to talk about it. This is Locked On Celeb News. The headlines might get you here, but the questions keep us locked in. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Stay locked in. Good night.